Well, I did it. I made it pretty. And now I'm committed. I gotta turn the rest of that rusty Hulk into that. And of course, I've already started. Oh God. I need to learn self-control. Good luck with that. Anyway, I'm going to start assembling the head, the valve head here. I'm not still 100% sure about the theory. Oops, sorry, finger in the way. I'm pulling a Nancy. I'm not yet sure 100% about the theory of operation of this thing. I found a patent drawing. This is indeed 100 years old. It came, the patent was applied for in April of 1920, was approved November 8th, 1921. But I'm still not 100% up to speed on the theory of operation with this thing. This is the air inlet. The air is drawn in here. And then there's that spring there. Oh, there's the disc hiding under the plunger valve there. There's a disc sits on top of that spring, and then this assembly sits on top of that. So air is drawn in. I'm not 100% sure of the purpose of these orifices on the cone-shaped machine. Like I say, I found the patent drawings, but there's really no description about the theory of operation. So I got some more studying to do there. But anyway, I'm going to put this back together. So air is drawn in, down into the cylinder, and then on the upstroke of the piston in the cylinder, pushes the air up through here, and then on out to your delivery system. Now Jim said before this thing sat outside and kind of got all crapped up and stuck, he was making air with this thing. In fact, he found the air tank, a converted propane tank, rated at 250 pounds per square inch. So yeah, there's the storage tank, mounts underneath the pump jack trailer. So of course I've got to paint this too now that I've gotten out of control. But anyway, the tank. I digress. Where was I? Valve. The piston forces the air up. It comes up through here, through that valve there, and then out the delivery pipe. Come on, Stuart. That cone shape, that concave recess in there, I'm not sure of the purpose of that. I don't see anything inside here that needs a cone shape. There's a spring that goes there, and that other disc which just sits on top of that. It almost seems like there's a part missing. But Jim said, hey, he was making air with this thing, and it worked. So I'm not going to get too carried away with trying to figure that out. If I find any other info on the theory of operation, how these valves function, I'll share that. But in the meantime, I'm going to start putting this back together. Okay, on the outlet side, I've got the disc in there. I've got the spring. Got the copper washer back on here. And yes, I painted the valves too. So I'm going to gently insert that. And then she just threads. Hopefully. Terrible camera work. Sorry. She just threads in there. we scratch the paint. Now, I've got to, what do we got to do here? Sorry if I'm making you seasick. See if I can just drop this disc right in there. And then, let me grab a screwdriver and line that up. Hang on. Okay, the disc is centered. So now, I'm going to pick up this section of the valve, which just gently sits in there. Then we take the shaft with the spring, that goes in there, and then we slide this on, and you can feel the spring tension there, and then we just screw that in. Boy, I tell you, my aim with this camera is terrible. Sorry. Then we tighten that up. There. Okay. Now the tricky part. This retainer sits like that. However, you see these slots on the plunger valve? They're keyed on that retainer. I have to screw those threads into the head of this valve, which means I've got to spin the whole retainer and everything, and then get it to slip, come on, focus, over that boss. So I'm going to need both hands for that. Let me bring you back in a second. Got it. It was a bit of a struggle. I got that screwed on there and set in place, and I got it too tight where this, there was no movement on this valve at all. So I had to back it off a little bit, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I got this lock nut right here. Once you get it fairly well set, then you need a skinny spanner to get in there and tighten this retainer clip down onto the valve body. I don't have a spanner that thin, so I used a thin punch and a hammer and did it. Anyway, it's in there. The valves are all in. On this end, there's a check ball with a spring, and this plunger works in and out like so. And it was interesting, the piston in there is some kind of composite material. I don't know what they were using 100 years ago, but interesting. It almost looked like graphite, but it could be, I don't know. Interesting material. Anyway, the basic way this compressor works is off of RPM. And there's a mechanism attached to the flywheel, which you can't see right now. This guy, which attaches here, the flywheel, as it spins, there's a cone on the flywheel that, boy, my camera work today is horrible, I apologize, rides on this dog right here, which works this shaft, if you can visualize it this way, works this shaft like so, in and out. That is what drives this plunger. And I believe that's part of the unloading mechanism. More to follow on that, on the theory of operation. I believe that's how it works, but I'm not sure. Jim can tell me too. I might interview him on a video and have him explain the operation once I get more of this back together. Since it's on the inlet side, once we get up to pressure in the tank, you know, there's got to be a relief. And I think this is how it works. Once we're up to pressure, and of course that compressor still wants to make air, and it's got to go somewhere. So I'm thinking this is the relief part of that. Like I say, the patent drawing didn't have any explanation. It just showed part numbers. So, all right. There we go, the Curtis air compressor. That's where I'm at so far. More to follow. Hey, thanks for watching. I want to thank my existing subscribers, you know, for sticking around. The channel has kind of hit a lull. I haven't had any new subscribers in a couple of weeks. Maybe my little short intro video I put on there is scaring people off. I don't know. But anyway, no new subscribers to thank. So the channel's kind of stalled right now. Who knows the reason behind that? I'm not going to worry too much about it. People will watch if they like the content. And I've gone in and looked at the analytics and taken some of the YouTube suggestions and done some things, you know. And we'll see what happens. It's all about having fun anyway. And tinkering. But to my dedicated existing subscribers, thanks for sticking around. We'll talk to you later.